How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dyson Sphere Program. Hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. If you guys have, you guys know to smash the like button. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, as it really helps out. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns for me, leave those down below. And with that, let's get into today's episode. So, the new DLC is out for Dyson. So my goal is really, I think I'm going to just probably get some things set up in this episode. And I think starting in about a week, I want to take like a little short break from Dyson, but then we're going to hit the ground running in the new content. Now, again, I've mentioned this before, when we start the new content, it's not going to be super in depth of like all the other stuff that we've done throughout this series. The main goal of the next playthrough, I think, is just going to be to highlight all the new stuff, right? And to kind of more so play with those mechanics. So we're not going to really focus as much as on the base building and just the little things here. And we'll probably touch on things here and there, but for the most part, a lot of the like base building will probably be done off camera, and we'll focus more so on doing like base defense and what are optimal defense strategies and kind of what's good, what's bad, and just overall kind of use those mechanics. Now here's just a quick update on our Dyson Sphere. Now it isn't quite a sphere, it's more of a ring. Now I did plan out half the sphere, and you'll see shortly that we're going to plan out the other half, but we'll unfortunately be moving on from this Dyson Sphere to a new one soon. And then I think we did well for this playthrough. Definitely we're gonna make sure we automate a lot of the infrastructure things now, like right at the start beforehand, because I have learned that every time that I make 10,000 belts, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna need any more for this playthrough. I end up needing way more for this playthrough. So definitely, I think for the next playthrough, we're gonna automate all of that little stuff first before we go off and start building a big factory like this, because I think that will just speed it up. And then also, I think some of the things I'm curious to see how the new update works, just because a lot of this, so the stuff is added in. So we are playing on the newest version. However, the enemy, I believe it's the Dark Fog, has not spawned, and because of that, we can't fight it. But all of the research and things are in the game, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. But it's a little bit interesting, though, I think, to see how it all works, because if it works similar to like Factorio with the bugs and the biters, if it's like hives that we can destroy and they spawn and there's a finite amount, and eventually we could just wipe them from the local star cluster, or is it they're just perpetually being generated, like in the void, and they're coming to attack regardless? I don't know. I'm just overall curious about how it all works, but I'm sure you guys are curious as well, especially for the longtime viewers of this series. And of course, as always, thank you all for watching and kind of keeping up with it. But I think as we go through it, it's gonna be, I'm curious to see what gets added after the update as well, in terms of like balancing and or any little like micro additions as updates come out, because I'm wondering if we're gonna see like new items, both for us to use and for them to use. I'd also be curious to see this game get really in-depth mods. I think that would be an interesting addition, because I don't think it has mods right now, unless I'm mistaken, but I haven't looked into them, so they could exist, and I just haven't seen them. But there's no integrated like mod menu that I see. So if there are mods for this game, they're most definitely either through like Nexus, or they're like Steam Workshop mods. So I'll look into those after the fact. But if anybody does know of mods for this game and I'm just completely oblivious or forget to look into it, definitely leave a comment down below about that. I don't think there are, but I feel like there would be for a game like this, but who knows. I think one of the most fun parts I've had in this playthrough has been just seeing all of the components come together for the Dyson Sphere. Every time a new infrastructure, one of those support joints gets built and it connects to one of the other ones, and then the panels start getting built, I think that's probably been one of the coolest aspects of this. I also really enjoyed setting up the smelting world. I think those episodes were really fun to do. It's crazy to think that a Dyson Sphere is really just a bunch of giant solar panels. I mean, I guess there's a little bit more science behind it than that, but they're effectively that. And then one of the things I noticed when we were building, we didn't put power to our rocketry, so they backed up a little bit, but we never powered them. So we get to go here. I think right now our biggest limiter for getting more stuff made is just having deuterium. We just don't have enough production. Part of it is we have a lot of production, but we don't have a lot of transportation for it. And so we just have to make sure that it's getting into the network to be transported. So it does take a bit of time for us to do those things, but I think if we just fix throughput issues, and especially kind of seeing our challenges from this playthrough, I think we'll be able to identify them a little bit better in the next playthrough. And I think also we'll use the little drones next time as well to make sure that our inventory has the things we need, such as the infrastructure components, because that is one feature we never used this playthrough, is the little logistics drones for the player bot, because like we're using the little ships, but we're not using the drones. Here's kind of where the biggest throughput issue I was having was, because I kept trying to figure out what the best way of getting it into the logistics system would be. At first I thought, oh, putting it all in one central spot and then pulling it out from there, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, no, we could try to get it so that way we're getting... I don't know, just getting more stuff throughout. And in order to do that, I figured we'll just get rid of these intermediate. And then here I was just trying to go through and look at all of the throughput concerns. Here, some of the other things, just so everybody's kind of aware, I think I might end up, not necessarily in Dyson, but I think I'm at some point going to do a sort of, I don't know if I'll do it on like Mondays or Fridays, but just kind of a update like, each week to kind of what's going on, both for the channel and just kind of what's going on in general for me. Just so that way it doesn't necessarily take over portions of videos like I know Dyson has kind of had, just due to the nature of how I ended up structuring it. But I think for at some point, I don't know when I'll start it, but it more or less will probably just be kind of like a not a channel update, but kind of just like a fireside chat, as FDR had, where just more or less go over kind of like upcoming stuff for the week or things coming up. But until that happens, to kind of give you guys a quick rundown of what is going on. At the time of recording, it's the 20th, and then you guys are seeing this the 21st. So then, realistically, Probably, I'll be able to get things out because Christmas isn't until Monday. There probably will be a video out on Monday. However, actually, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do a video for Christmas or not. I might just release it on the 26th, just because that way everybody's kind of doing their own thing, but who knows. More than likely, I'll probably release something off for Monday. Not necessarily Christmas related, it's just going to be another episode of something. It's probably going to be an episode of RimWorld, just because I've been really getting into that right now. We did start in the multiplayer series for Minecraft, however, and I'll explain it in the first episode of that series as well. It's not going to be like the other Minecraft series Let's Play, where it's very kind of guided and showcasey. It's going to be more so just us playing, as well as going through new things. Now, my goal is to try different mods in that playthrough. So it is the FTB Infinity Evolved pack, but we aren't playing expert mode, we're playing just the normal mode. So a lot of the recipes are a lot easier to get, so if you are playing expert mode, unfortunately it won't really be super beneficial. We have talked about going to expert mode at some point, however we haven't quite made that decision, so we'll probably do it later down the road. And it's also not going to be necessarily super chronological either, so it's going to be, there will be like time jumps between just like very tedious things such as when we're mining and just typical off-camera things. However, I didn't record the last 2 days because a lot of the last 2 days has been nothing but mining and like very minor things. So there will be some good time jumps here and there, but don't expect it to be a super long series. I would say it's probably going to be a series maybe around 10 to 12 episodes at most. So it's going to be kind of a little bit of a short series. The goal for the next season, or the next series after that we do of Minecraft, I'm hoping to try to get one of my friends to record their point of view, because we are all playing in separate areas. However, we're all still talking in the same Discord call. So we're, on one hand, we're kind of competing against each other, but on the other hand, we're all still hanging out. But the goal there is, if I can get one of them to record their side from kind of whatever they're doing, then a lot more of the commentary will make sense, and some of the other stuff. But until then, for this season, I don't think anybody's going to do that, because we haven't figured all that out yet, and we're not really sure what our end goal for this season will be just yet. But I will I'll let you know both in that series and probably throughout it. The first episode of that will probably be coming out Saturday, so definitely be looking forward to that. And then the next episode of our single player Minecraft series probably won't come out until next week. Probably won't come out until next week, just because I haven't had time to actively play it as much as I wanted to. So we're gonna have, but I do have a little bit more time this weekend because of the holidays, so I'm gonna try to get some of it done. My biggest problem right now is just getting all the aspects so that we can do the research for Thaumcraft. Thaumcraft is kind of holding us back a little bit. I suppose we could try to make progress towards getting dragon hearts and things, but it's just tough. It's real tough. Anyway, back to Dyson. So my kind of short-term goal here is just to more or less patch this up using a logistics distributor and pretty much applying all of our deuterium into it, so that way we can go ahead and move through. Just a short-term problem. I think right now the issue is we're not getting enough deuterium into the logistics terminal, so we can't move it as fast. However, we need a lot of belts, so this is going to be kind of one of those. We're just going to have to go ahead and queue up another like 1,000 or so of the belts, but that requires a lot of resources. So we're going to do a bit of crafting, and so I think we're going to go ahead and call it here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you guys did, you guys know what to do. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Consider subscribing, as it really helps out the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down below. And with all of that, hope you guys had a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the new update.